Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys for a few minutes. It's going to be a bit of a rant. And it's something that frustrates me endlessly, and this is one of the reasons that I am so hard on the supplement industry, and one reason I am so massively critical of it is the way that people who read magazines and people who train, and even a lot of my subscribers and people who watch YouTube channels who are into fitness and training have been so brainwashed that they'll believe any bullshit without actually doing any research first. In case in point, I said in my coffee rant yesterday morning when I was discussing why supplements, although many of them are drugs, and I mentioned supplementing creatine as a drug, that they're not really considered the same and looked in the same light as PEDs and not banned because they're so weak to be virtually useless. And then someone, and a couple of people actually chimed in and said, well, they're not drugs. You can't even claim they're drugs or make that comparison, and that really threw me off, that someone was saying that creatine supplementation is not a drug. And so I put up on my fan page a question asking people for the best arguments they could come up with as to why creatine monohydrate is not a drug. And one of the leading arguments that came up over and over and over was that it's found naturally in the body and it's found naturally in your diet. So let me ask you guys a question. I'm going to see just how much people have been brainwashed into something. How many of you out there actually think that creatine monohydrate, the type of creatine that most of you supplement, that your body produces it, or that it's found in meat naturally, or that it's even a naturally occurring compound? The answer is it's not. Creatine monohydrate is a completely synthetically made product designed by chemists. It doesn't occur naturally that I'm aware of. It's not in your body. It's not found in your body unless you put it in your mouth. It's not found in meat. You're thinking of phosphocreatine. And the purpose of taking this creatine monohydrate is to get more creatine into your body. It's the delivery system for it to get it into your body so that you can elevate phosphocreatine levels above what the body could have naturally. So in short, it is a synthetically produced drug used to try to elevate the levels of something in the body above their normal physiological range. Just like andriol, which is testosterone undecoinate, is also an orally available drug that takes something naturally found in the body, testosterone, changes the form on it to give it a delivery system, to get it into your body in the hopes of raising your levels above the normal physiological range of this naturally occurring substance in the body. The same thing, it's just that creatine is weak as hell. It's much weaker than the andriol. So we don't make a big deal about it. But that's the whole point, is that people believe all this hype and bullshit, and everything they read, they don't even bother to stop and think or look at it, and they don't even seem to realize that creatine monohydrate they're taking isn't something actually found in their diet. It's not produced by your body. It's a synthetic drug. By any definition of the word you could come up with for drugs. Some are more loose than others, but in this case it's a completely synthetically produced substance made by chemists, designed by chemists in a lab that you put into your body for the purpose of elevating another substance in the body above the normal physiological range. That meets virtually every country's definition of a drug in their medical books and as it's defined by doctors. And so when I see people talk about all these things and they repeat the catchphrases over and over and over, I really and truly feel like I'm watching the movie Idiocracy. And I hate to say it, but people involved in this industry, including some of my most beloved fans, that is exactly what it's like to me. It's literally, whenever someone would talk about putting water, the guy in Idiocracy is trying to talk to the people about putting water on their crops, like water from the toilet. And he'd say, no, the stuff, this Brondo you're putting on it is killing the plants. And everyone would repeat the line over and over, Brondo, it's got electrolytes. It's what plants crave. No matter what he would try to tell them, they would just repeat the stupid ass lines that had been programmed into their heads and the advertising lines, and they weren't even capable of basic logic. And that is what we see with people who are buying all these supplements. And I know I harp on them for selling products that people don't need, and people saying, well, there's at least a placebo effect, and all industries do that. I go, and that's true. You probably don't need an iPhone. But at least the iPhone is doing what they advertise it to do. If iPhones were running around selling these iPhones for $200, $300, $400, $500, and they just gave you a box with no electronics in it and claimed that it did all this stuff, and they produced research saying that it did all of these amazing things, and people were actually walking around, and due to the placebo effect and the advertiser going, yeah, I can see my mom in there. Yep, that's definitely her photos on Facebook. Oh yeah, she's talking to me. I can hear her voice, and they're walking around in a haze like that. I would be just as hard on Apple as I am on the supplement industry, because that is literally what people are doing. They are taking products, sometimes people are spending money they don't even have, they can't afford, for all of these products, and people have been programmed with all this bullshit and made up stuff to the extent that they really and truly think that these products are working, when it is the equivalent of you going and buying an iPhone with no electronics in it and actually thinking that you see your mother on the screen when she updates her Facebook, or that you're talking to her on the phone. That is literally the type of haze that people are in from it. And so that is why I'm so hard on this industry. And this just goes back to this other example. People actually think that creatine monohydrate is truly just a dietary supplement, and that the form that they're taking of it is something just found right there in their food, and they're just taking more of the same thing found in their food. And it's really not true. It isn't. You're actually taking a completely synthetically made substance to try to elevate your phosphocreatine levels above the normal range. And this is not what's in your food. It's not something even produced by your body. So again, this is just another bit of bullshit that people have been sold. And it's just kind of shit that really makes me rage on the industry in general, and rage upon people who have fallen for the industry. I don't know whether to get mad at them or feel sorry for them. All I can do is try to educate them. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative. My rant is over, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go. And remember, Brondo, it's got electrolytes. It's what plants crave.